Did you know? The first two Sonic cartoons debuted only days apart. The first cartoon, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, launched on September 6, 1993. The second, simply titled Sonic the Hedgehog, debuted on September 18th, the same year, just 12 days after. It's unclear why the two shows ran concurrently. A popular explanation is that after acquiring the license, DYKM Entertainment presented ABC with a pitch for Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. ABC liked the idea, but were looking for a show with a different tone. Rather than letting their hard work go to waste, DYKM continued to work on the show for syndication while simultaneously revising their pitch for ABC. The revised pitch was accepted and went on to become Sonic the Hedgehog. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog would run on weekdays, while Sonic the Hedgehog ran on Saturday mornings. To avoid confusion between the two, the latter show is often referred to by the nickname Sat-Am, a contraction of Saturday AM. Even members of the show's staff would refer to it by this nickname. Despite the frequent confusion and comparison between the two shows, there was never any rivalry between the two teams behind them. They were kept entirely separate and were too busy to foster competition. When DYKM were pitching the cartoon to ABC, they decided to cast Jaleel White as Sonic. The casting was a political choice intended to strengthen the pitch. White was already an ABC personality, starring as Steve Urkel on Family Matters. White was rarely able to attend group recordings due to his busy schedule, juggling school, Family Matters, and Sonic, and required his own recording sessions. An advantage to this was that White had more time dedicated to him, and could re-record lines to get them perfect. White also wanted to avoid a delivery that would associate Sonic with any one race or subculture. The final episode of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was a special titled Sonic Christmas Blast, which was released in November 1996, almost 3 years after the series finale. Further adding to the confusion between the two cartoons, this episode also contains Sally Acorn from Sat-Am. The episode's title is styled after the logo for Sonic 3D Blast, which was released in November 1996. Issue number 41 of Archie's Sonic comics referred to the special as Extremely Sonic Christmas, suggesting the episode was meant to promote the game Sonic Extreme before it was cancelled. In December of 1993, a promotional tie-in called Sonic the Poster Mag was released in the UK. The magazine promoted both Sonic cartoons, which were soon to be airing in the UK. And while it explained the differences between each show, the licensed material was muddled, mixing up characters and titles from the two different shows. The previews in the magazine appeared to be taken from a version of Sat-Am still in production. Sat-Am's characters were entirely different, with Tails missing and only Sonic and Princess Sally Acorn from the final show. A guide was made for the show referred to as the Sat-Am Bible. The guide was written by TV veteran Len Jensen, who envisioned a dramatic, emotionally charged series. Robotnik and Snively's backstories from the Bible describe them as astronauts from the 23rd century who escaped from their colony following a failed takeover bid. In a twist reminiscent of Planet of the Apes, there's a freak accident with faster-than-light travel, and they return to Earth thousands of years in the future. Humanity had long since been wiped out, and the Earth was repopulated by animals, who had renamed the planet Mobius. It's heavily implied in 1996's Sonic the Hedgehog the movie that Planet Freedom is also a post-apocalyptic Earth. A ruined city in the Land of Darkness bears a strong resemblance to New York, and is described as ancient relics by the characters. Additionally, a very similar backstory was used by Archie Comics in 2003, with issue number 124 revealing that Mobius was a future Earth that had been gene-bombed by the alien Zorda. This wouldn't have been the first time Archie took unused ideas from the show. The character Nate Morgan was actually a scrapped idea from early in Sat-Am's production. Despite the passion of the team, Sat-Am encountered problems from day one. The show was on the opposite side of the wildly popular Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and was frequently rescheduled to make way for sports programming. The show was cancelled after season 2, ending on a cliffhanger. Writer Ben Hurst made many attempts to renew interest in the show. At one point, he was able to consult with a Sega executive, with whom he had a most pleasant conversation with. According to Hurst, the pair separated on good terms with the intent to meet again and discuss a potential conclusion to the series. The next day, Hurst was contacted by Archie writer Ken Penders, and the pair discussed his plans. However, Hurst recalled that when he called the Sega executive back, she tore into him, telling him people pay us to develop the Sonic product, we don't pay them, before hanging up. Hurst speculated that Penders had relayed his plans to Sega poorly, thwarting their chances. Hurst was involved with a third Sonic show though, Sonic Underground. He claimed that DYKM wanted the series to be centered around music so they could collect extra residuals. Essentially because the songwriters would sign over the rights to their songs, DYKM could collect extra money and royalties every time the song was re-aired. Many of the writers on the show were inexperienced, and several had difficulty keeping up with the breakneck speed of production. DYKM actually wanted to run 2 episodes a week to maximize profit. This also made it difficult for writers to create overarching plots. Sonic Underground unexpectedly resurfaced in 2012, when Archie Comics announced they'd be publishing an epilogue to the series in issue 50 of Sonic Universe. However, the comic failed to surface. Archie was forbidden from using material from Sonic Underground, and it seems this rule was enforced more strictly than they were anticipating. While the games were set on Earth, the pilot for Sonic X showed the characters in a world inhabited by anthropomorphic animals. The series eventually bridged the two concepts, having the cast transported from their world to Earth. Interestingly, footage from this pilot was reused in the English intro for Sonic X. A character was shown in early promotional material that sent ripples of speculation through the fanbase. The character was a silver hedgehog with an evil grin that the fans dubbed Nazo after the image's file name, nazo.jpg. The character never appeared in the series, leading many to suspect that he was part of a scrapped Season 4. In 2015, a fan asked series producer Takashi Iizuka who the character was. He confirmed it was just Supersonic. The Sonic Boom sub-series was tailor-made for a Western audience, to the point that it wasn't even intended to air in Japan at first. Japan did eventually get the series under the name Sonic Toon. The co-executive producers for the series, Evan Bailey and Bill Freiberger, had played many Sonic games in the past. Bailey thought that playing well in the titles made you feel like you were slightly out of control. The writers incorporated that feeling into Sonic's character, making him feel impulsive and prone to acting without thinking. Freiberger thought that a franchise like Sonic was kept alive due to its constant reinventions by different creative teams, comparing it to the likes of Batman. And if you want more Sonic facts, check out the Did You Know Gaming video on Sonic Mania.
And if you want to feel really, really good, you should check this out. The guy in the thumbnail doesn't look like he's feeling very good, but you will feel good. I guarantee that, or your money back.